sure I understand it, but everything seems brighter now than before. I don't know why I feel this way, but every time I hear your name, all my worries disappear, yeah. It's all because of you. I feel the way I do. You make my dreams come true, yeah. It's all because of you, because of you, because of you. And I don't fall in love so easily, 'cause I don't wear my heart up on my sleeve. Yeah. I don't know if you feel the same, but every time I hear your name, my worries disappear. It's all because of you, yeah. I feel the way I do. You make my dreams come true, yes you do. It's all because of you, because of you, because of you.
Sunlight that always stays, dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life. Raise your cross. Made some dude crack a smile. He asked if I could stay a while. I'm living that high life. Time to catch a flight, but you can make me go. Unlocking all the memories of my new home. Ventilated echoes playing to and fro. Back and forth, yeah. Caught some kids dancing in the alleyway. Crazy how the melodies began to play, yeah. Tell me how you feeling when you hear the lyric, yeah. My heart's in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. I left my heart in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. Shopping the girl, I brought a girl on my Vespa. She said I already told ya, yeah. I never dated a black guy. I said you're brown yourself. Let me offer help. Come on inside, where everybody knows your name.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right.
Yabba dabba dabba dooba baby baba.
Fooled me,
We
'cause I'm addicted to the good life.
are
Yeah,
back.
either way,
Shout out.
I follow. No need to say
One love.
where we are heading now, babe.
Big Shirley.
I follow.
Get your big old sexy self in here, girl.
To the edge of it all.
City. Gender.
So
Let's
tell
get
your
it. Come on.
good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what.
Mama say, mama say, mama.
Susceptible now before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yeah, and nothing can stop
What we getting
me,
into?
'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Either way, I follow. No need to say.
Get the lights up.
Where
Come
we
on.
are heading
Come
now,
on.
babe.
Don't make me
I
ask.
follow
Please be nice.
to the edge of it all.
K-side, Banu Pie. The friends so nice they named it twice. Come on.
Cause I'll buy no matter what.
It's always good when we have a red bag day. Red bag day. Shout out to my next ex-wife.
Before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell
What's going
your
on
good
to the hit squad? My Henry.
Cause I'll buy no matter what.
Shout out to all the men out there getting it done.
Susceptible now before the moment flies. Yeah.
We are back. Those lights on, those lights on. Let's see if we can get into the main. Shout out to the CIA, confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. Oh, that didn't turn off the lights, did it? 5 lights. Well, maybe that's not working. We'll figure it out. One love to the FBI. How we doing, people? Let's do it this way. Huh. Oh. All right. Sorry, people. Got too many systems going over here. So let's do it this way. Pew. Did that do it? We'll turn those lights off on that system. Did we do it this way? I don't know. We'll do it like that. So how we doing? How we doing, everybody? Excuse me, forgive my manners. Need to make sure got the setting right here. Take off these dadgum sunglasses in the house. How rude of me. Like them rentals though. You like those? The rentals? Wait till I do my next video on the eyewear drop. Oh, it is springtime. It's sunglass season. So it's time to start looking good when the sun is out. Every guy needs a good pair of sunglasses These right here are a particular line called Jacques Marie Mage, and these are called the Aviator. These are called the Omaha. So I'm getting into more gold accessories now. So those are the Reynolds. Those are the Omaha. If you're down here in Atlanta, everybody knows a good pair of Cartier frames. There's so many fake Cartier frames running around here down here in Atlanta. But you know, y'all don't do that. We don't do that over here. We wear what we wear. And if you can't afford the real one, you just fine with what you got. Ain't no shame in what you got until you can get it. I am not a fan of counterfeits. Candle of the evening. Tom Ford. Lost. Cherry. Fragrance of the evening. We started out today with today was a good day. We started out today with Rosie Dove Crystal Oud. One of the best oud fragrances out there. What's going on, Don? One of the best oud fragrances out there that most people don't know anything about. Rosie Dove Crystal Oud. And then we switched up to this evening. Where'd the switch profile thing go? We switched up to this evening. I'm sorry. Give me a second. We switched up to this evening. Rosie Dove Amber Oud Absolute Pursue. Why is this important? Because sometimes you just have to treat yourself. This bottle will last me a lifetime, and it better. It gets a king's ransom, but just a little spray. Just a little spray is heavenly. And I wear this on date night, special occasions, and you'll watch how that spot moves. That oil, it's like 40% pure perfume oil. So yeah, I got skills in real life to teach you guys about this kind of stuff. Why is that important? Because I like it. That's it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. It's not a determination of what kind of man you are or are not. We're glad when we have it. Shout out to the big hundos. And I want to make an announcement tonight also. Get the likes up, people. I want to make an announcement too that I know a lot of people. I've been inundated with requests for my point of view on the Derek Jackson situation. Okay? The Derek Jackson situation. So tonight, you know, when I did my show Monday night, the story was still evolving. I mean, if you've been keeping up with it, the guy's in Newsweek. Newsweek.com was carrying a story about him. So, and then more things keep coming out. I got to be honest. You all know, you've been following me, that he was rather rude to me. The guy actually tried to imply that I was gay in one of his responses to the Average at Best video, which honestly, I thought you were better than that. You know, especially from a guy who took so much media heat when he first came out. People used to question his sexuality because, as you find out, he's hidden his relationship. So yeah, you 6'5", chocolate with muscles, and people used to say that you were gay. So you would think that with a man that I would have expected better. But, you know, you let things come out. And maybe I thought maybe after the first time he did this, Cryomancer, what's going on? I thought maybe his first time responding to me, maybe it was a little ham-handed, offhand. Maybe you're in your car, whatever. I try to give the benefit of the doubt. Then the second time he responded to me, he did it without saying my name. But even Abba and Preach and several other people picked up. So Many people have asked me, I know you're going to respond to this. I know you're going to get at it. And let me tell you, I got to be honest. I have my point of view on this subject. Dre Day, what's going on? Darcympius. Yeah. I have my point of view, and I am going to discuss this. But I'm a professional. And I believe in what I'm doing, my purpose and my platform. And while this may be a story right now, there's always a bigger point. There's always a bigger point. There's always a greater point. And the greater point is you men. The men on the other side of this camera and the women who want to be with them. So, while I said I was going to discuss it tonight, honestly, folks, it's still too new. It's still too much developing. And when I discuss it, I want to talk about it one time. One time and one time only. I don't want to have to keep coming back to this because, quite honestly, let's be real. Ladies, gentlemen, we've got too much shit to do. We've got too much important stuff to tackle than to have to approach this issue one at a time. Now, you know me. I make no bones about it. I never try to act like I am perfect or walk on water. I am flawed. I'm human just like anybody else. I'm a work in progress. You build an airplane while you're flying it. So when I talk about these concepts, like I showed the other day when I was on Instagram, I'm not coming at it from Kevin's point of view necessarily, or that I'm holier than thou, or that I'm an oracle. No, who I speak for is the guys, my clients, my viewers, my followers, the people I'm in the barbershop and on the basketball court and in the gym with, those guys. So if you came here for a bloodbath or a crucifixion of Derek Jackson, it's not today. I will say what we have coming up next week is I have another smoke show. What is a smoke show? A free smoke show is when my critics and detractors get a chance to go one-on-one with me. You must be on camera, and we got to talk about the subject because you don't know me personally. We can talk about the subject. I am open to it. Let's do it. Only 2 rules. Be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. You can't overtalk me. I will give at least 48 hours notice. I am thinking Wednesday of next week, possibly Friday of next week. Well, Friday is Good Friday. I don't know. Friday may be the best day because this is the Friday before Easter. You know what? Let's do it next Friday. Good Friday. So yeah. Yesterday on Instagram, I had a back and forth with a radio personality. I believe she's a radio personality that kind of encapsulated everything I've been talking about this week. So if you go back into my catalog of videos, we started out this week talking about several issues. And as the week progressed, one thing fed into another. We just crossed 600,000 subscribers, by the way. 600,000 subscribers. Damn. Wow. 600,000 subscribers. Whoa. That's crazy. In August, I had just crossed 100,000. Now we're over 600. Let's get to the work. On Monday, I discussed high-value men cheat. On Wednesday, I asked the question, is the price too high for modern women? And in between that time, I've done some uploads. This is what happens way too often with modern women, backed up by I don't want to be a slave and look better than Beyonce, to she makes 50, but she wants him to make $500,000. And then who gives better advice to younger women? All of these are variations on the theme. And when I discussed on Instagram the other day was, can you rightly generalize women? Can you rightly generalize women? And so many women came back saying, no, you can't. And the reality is, yes, you can. You can rightly generalize women because you can generalize men. And far too many women don't like being generalized when it starts to get hot. And as I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, we got to get the likes up, people. We should have 1,000 more likes. Look, if we don't get the likes up over 50%, you know what happens. You know what happens when we don't get the likes up over 50%. We get this intermission song. You get the intermission song, and the thing is, now I'm going to change that next week. It's going to be the AOL dial tone. The dial-up dial tone. If you don't want to hear that, let's get it up, man. Hit the like button. I know you probably got excited. You're like, we're behind. Let's get the likes up. Let's get it up. So, why? And shout out to the folks over at Lapeef. I went over. I saw my boy Anton and JR doing their show, and I slid by there and I jumped on the panel. If you guys remember, about 3 weeks ago, a woman by the name of Tawana came through. And we had a spirited back and forth where your godfather did what he does and proved the points over and over again. Cheese, pizza. And it's all rounded into this one thing that used that woman, Tawana. One of her arguments was what? Balance. You're not balanced. I don't feel like you're balanced. You're not flexible enough. There's always two sides to the story. That's bull crap. We only want two sides to the story when it starts to get hot for women. And that's what I mean. Is there anybody that can generalize? Is there any way to generalize women? Even last night, it was like, well, and women, you ladies keep trying to, when it gets too hot, you want to get into the general or the anecdotal. You don't want, it's funny, you don't want to go into the general, but you have no problem with the anecdotal. Meaning, you don't want to take what's generally true, broadly true for most people, but then you want to enter into evidence your anecdotal micro experience. Why is this all so important? Because, like I told Aunt Dub C, Crip Walking, West Side Connect, bow down. Aunt Dub C, what's going on? Oh, man, with your nacho. I bet you that afro is looking good tonight with that cornrow. Wow. What bother folks more than anything else, especially women over 35, is one, the generalizations I make about women that are true, and two, the fact that who are you to be talking to younger women? And this is where it all culminated last night. Like I told Auntie Dub C, younger women are tired of talking to you. They're tired of asking you advice, because when given an opportunity to talk to them, just like Aunt Dub C, I said, well, all right, what do you have to tell the younger woman? What would you tell them? And what was her advice? Don't listen to him. That's it. The extent of the advice for many women over 35 to young women is don't listen to black men. That ain't working. And then last night when I was going back and forth, the questions kept coming up. Career, and is it my fault that this, my fault that, and the net of it was a woman who is a woman who chose to be a professional, who says the same things we've heard all the time. I choose to be single, and I could choose to be married, and I could choose to be this. Ma'am, I call bullshit. Bullshit. How many times have we heard women come up and say something along the lines, I could be married if I choose to? Can modern women just choose high value? And the question is really, can modern women just choose to be the high value lifestyle? Can modern women just choose to be housewife worthy? See, I didn't want to put that in the title completely, but the question is, can modern women just choose to be housewife worthy? Can that be it? Can modern women just simply make that choice? And see, that's what is a high value lifestyle. What's being housewife worthy? It's being high value in a woman's eyes. But just like the flight attendant who said she looked as good as Beyonce and Kelly Rowland at 170 pounds tells us that even getting that high value lifestyle if she has to serve a man or anything else like that, that's tantamount to slavery, because she saw her mama slaving for her daddy. But what she did not mention was that her mama came to her daddy with 3 kids from 2 other men. And her daddy took her mama in, married her when the other 2 men didn't, built a life with her. So her mother probably has a hell of a lot different story. But her entitled ass flight attendant daughter, who weighed more than a man at her height, had the nerve to act as though the women who came before her, women that were much higher caliber and quality, according to the outcomes, said that these women were slaves. So my question is this. Ladies, can modern women just choose to be housewife worthy? Because here's what happens too often with modern women. What we hear is, take your 20s, do what you got to do, and then all of a sudden, at 30, you can decide to turn around and pick a man off the high value tree and become a housewife. Is that not what we hear, Juan? He said 60,000. We had 600. Appreciate it. They'll put another 0 in. Brian R. Michael MC Harris. Is that not what we heard? We've heard so many women, like the young woman who said she wanted to be like a Jeannie Mai media correspondent. From 18 to 30, they've been told, like all these young women calling in and talk about my aunts and them, my big mom and them, they're telling me to get out there and have a hot girl summer, get out there and turn up and do this and do that. And It's all in the videos this week. Young women saying older women who have failed. I'm gonna call it out. Older women who have failed at having worthy relationships with men. Yes, older women who have failed. We need to start calling you what it is, and stop calling them, single parents. No, you're a home wrecker. You are breaking your homes. Single mother, baby mama. Words mean something. And if you are 40 years old as a woman, just got a job, no career, I think it's fair to say you have failed at having a relationship with a man of value. That does not mean he has to be high value, but a man that you respect. We are not meant to go through this world alone. Show me a retirement plan for a woman who is making the median income $25,000 a year, 25,600 or something like that, 26,000. Show me a retirement plan for the average modern median income woman. Show me a retirement plan. Don't tell me about the handful of people who own their own businesses. Tell me about the larger majority of women who work at the post office or retail. Show me a retirement plan for a woman who is 50 years old, who has made $50,000 or less her entire life. You cannot. There is no retirement plan. You don't have any money. You've lived paycheck to paycheck all your life. And now when you can't make no more paychecks, you expect big brother government, Uncle Sam, somebody, and that's wrong. Ladies. So younger women are seeing this. Younger women are seeing this, that my auntie, Aunt Dub C, they done failed. They don't have a husband or a family or anything else like what most other people have outside of our community. Younger women are saying they don't want that. So they're over here trying to get information to see what do these kind of men want and what can I do? That's women under 25, really under 24. Under 24, 18 to 24, they're over here really asking questions. But what about women here?
Danger zone!
What about women in the danger zone? Danger zone. And just like old girl tried to talk about, you say that women, all this bull crap, you just mischaracterize everything. I'm kind of disgusted. If you're going to be in media and you're going to talk about what I say, you need to know what I say. I was going to ask you to be on my show. I'm glad I didn't go, because what kind of research have you done to where you don't know what the danger zone is?
Danger zone!
The danger zone. If you listen to what she tried to make the danger zone be, is something pejorative and negative, that a woman with overweight and kids and this and that, a bunch of bullshit. When ultimately the danger zone means what? The age between 27 and 35, when women need to really focus like a laser on the outcomes they want. If you want to be a wife, then you really need to focus like no other, because after 35, options start falling off the table. And the question is, can modern women, corporate women, career women, however you want to phrase it, can these women really choose to be housewife worthy? Why is this important? Because so many women say they want a man who's a provider male, who can provide for 2 to 3 children, to where when they're married to this man, they don't want to have to work to pay significant bills after pregnancy. I have no problem with you wanting that. It's Red Bull, by the way. Also, women say they don't want to have to be responsible, but for a fraction of the overall financial responsibility of the family for a lifetime. Don't mind that. But yet, when I start asking these women, what do you bring to the table? I'm pretty. I'm in shape. That ain't enough. That'll get you some loving, and I'm being kind. And they feel like, because, well, I'm cuter than Big Shirley.
Danger zone!
Sorry, I'm cuter than Big Shirley. I ain't 200 pounds, so if I'm a dress size 4 and I'm cute, well, that ain't nothing. That just gets you a ticket to the dance. But when I ask simple questions like this, you got a cookbook? What? So you can't cook? Look, don't say that. I can follow a recipe. That ain't cooking. Can you actually administer a home? Ladies, you did not learn how to be a wife at home. You didn't learn this stuff. You didn't go to home ec. I'm sorry. You didn't. And it's not my fault. It's not my fault that you didn't go to home ec. It's not my fault that these things don't exist. And it's not my fault that these men still want women who can do the things women have traditionally done for men. What is that? That's what men typically want, ladies. That's what men typically want. If the kind of men who make the kind of money you're talking about, you know what they want? They want to come home to a woman who is running their house like the CEO. They want the kids' homework done. They want the meals hot, prepared, fresh. They want you in a good attitude. They want to come home and put it down and not have to think about anything. This is what men want. And see, modern women today will look at that woman and think she's living a life of luxury. She's got a nanny and a maid. They'll think that her job is to just sit there and look pretty. That woman works. It's hard work to stay fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, get 3 kids out into the world to be productive, competitive, successful citizens, and to maintain and keep a nice home and domicile for a productive, competitive, successful man. But see, so many modern women actually think, I'll go to college, get me this inflated degree that's a vanity project. Then I'll go out and work a few years, have hot girl summer, and then when it's all said and done, I'll go find me a man who's gonna take care of me for the rest of my life, and I'll just kick my feet up. And while he's out working 10, 12-hour days, I'll just sit around and look cute. Wrong. Can modern women just choose to be housewife worthy? I think the results are in. I don't think most modern women even understand what housewives do. You had one woman over here talking about their slaves. 2, you don't have a cookbook. You don't know how to cook. Who gonna cook for the kids? What you want to homeschool? Who gonna teach the kids? Why would a man get you? if you have not been trained to be these things. And like I said to the one sister, basically what you're talking about is a man just marrying you for your DNA. Why not marry the housekeeper or the nanny if they're going to be the ones raising the kids? So basically, ladies, you need to ask yourself a question. These high value men you want, this high value lifestyle you like to have, where you got a provider male, are you worthy of that? See, when so many women got triggered with that average at best videos when I said you don't qualify for this, that was at the essence. If you don't have the basic skills, you don't qualify. If you didn't learn how to do that, it's not something you just pull out of the air at 30 years old. You don't just step into becoming the CEO of a company. You got to work yourself up. What is one of the questions I ask women? Okay, what experience do you have serving, cooperating with, or serving a man? Most don't have any from a relational standpoint. Then I go back to your familial standpoint. You have brothers. Did you have brothers? Yeah. Did your mother serve your father? Yeah. Did you serve your brothers? What? Ladies, you got to admit, most of you are coming in overweight. Should we go through the numbers? 80% overweight. 80% of that 80% is obese. Most are coming in overweight. After a certain age, statistically, more women who are working have children. There are more women, when you look at men and women who are working, then you adjust for one number. There are more women that are working and have a kid than there are men who are working and don't have a kid. So that means it is far more likely that this man over here who's working without a child is going to meet a woman with a kid. So there's an 80% chance she's going to be overweight. Don't like blackdemographics.com, people. Don't shoot the messenger. 80% chance he's going to be overweight. And then depending upon the age, a higher percentage of chance she has a kid. Overweight and with a kid. This is for guys who are making, even if you're looking for guys who are making $75,000 or more, that's still top 15%. These men are making twice what the average man makes almost. Ladies, you talking about these provider males, provider men, are you worthy of that? Meaning, if becoming his wife was a job, would you have the qualifications on your relational resume? Not could you do it? You know what happens, Brian? Far too many women say this: I could learn how to do it. Wrench Turner. Shout out Wrench. You know what happened, Wrench? Far too many women say, I could learn. Well, guess what? Donald Trump in the house. What's going on? You know what, Michael? That'd be like me stepping into the I'm flying. I got a lot of trips coming up. I'm going to New York, LA, Houston, Miami, Phoenix, back to California. That'd be like me stepping in and saying, I'm not going to sit in first class. I'm going to jump up here in the cockpit. Passengers, don't worry about it. I can learn how to do this. I've seen pictures of it. I've seen photographs and videos of people flying airplanes. I can figure it out. How many people would run out of the plane? Hey, how many people run out of the plane? Ladies, if you needed your appendix removed, and I said, I can do it. I've seen it done on the YouTube video. I've done it on a frog. Would you be willing to let me learn on the job? But that is what so many modern women are doing to men today. You have so little respect, and I do think it's a lack of respect for who men are and who they've had to become, to where you actually think this is a good deal, that you should go to the average high value man, productive, competitive, successful men. Let's make a distinction. High value men are the top 10% of men roughly. But then there's also the hit squad, the PCS men. I would say the top 20%. So I'm going to call high value over here and then the hit squad. It's still the top 20% of men. You have men who are financially attractive to women. I think it is a hellified entitled for so many women thinking they can go to the average man, the top 20% of man, and say, you know what? You've had to put yourself in the top 20% of man, but me, I'm going to practice on you. I'm going to learn on your dime. And I'm going to be a modern woman all along. I don't want you to outshine me. Like that woman kept saying, did you guys watch the video last night? I don't know if you watched the video last night, but let's watch a little bit of it. Let's watch a little bit of it before we open the line, because she, in my opinion, was indicative of so many women. You know, this corporate career, and that's fine. I'm all for that, but it comes at a cost. And what's that cost? You don't learn how to serve anyone except your own ends. Not my response, not my fault. I didn't do it. A little bit of it before we open the line, because let's play a little bit of it last night. 21, you asked.
In this moment, yes.
Those that are, I have friends and the men that I've dated, a lot of things.
In this moment, yes. I cannot say what's wrong or right. No.
I think I have to admit, when you talk about high value men, those that are, I have friends and the men that I've dated, a lot of things you are spot on. They're very big on images. They are big on being catered to. I'm a woman who used to desire those type of men. I don't really desire them that much because I don't want to fulfill what they desire. And one of the things you mentioned the other night is you got to share that man. A lot of times that man, if he makes $400,000 or more, he may have another woman. And I know I cannot deal with that. So I think a lot of women sometimes say they want these men, but they've never dated it, because if they had, they wouldn't be just focusing on the money. There's a lot of women that have men with money, but they're not always happy either.
Well, okay. So the follow-up question to that would be, that's the kind of man you would like to have, you just don't like that aspect of it.
Well, I would say this. I'm 41, right? So when I listen to the women, when I was in the 30s, when I heard the girls from up here, they remind me of myself, because I was like, he got to have a lot of money. He got to take care of all the bills. That's what I was on. And I run in those circles. But what I've learned is a lot of those men just couldn't be faithful. So then I learned, well, that's my deal breaker. Faithfulness is my deal breaker. So I've been blessed.
That's where that bullshit came in. Faithfulness is my deal breaker. Yeah, you say that right now. What your deal breaker is, you got to be on top. Ma'am, you will not respect a man who's earning less than you. You will not respect a man whose lifestyle you'd have to come down to. Go listen to the video when I said, so you mean to tell me that when I mentioned the lifestyle, I'm like, so you would, if I'm driving a Mercedes and I'm making money for a Mercedes, you only make them enough money for an Acura, the world would expect me to get an Acura. She's like, well, if you worry about what the world has to say, then that means the bizarre backwards land that so many modern women inhabit, and inhabits in the same place. Equality, where men are praising women and all this stuff. And it comes right down to, in what world does a group of people, when the women are pedestalized ahead of the men, in what world does that work? It doesn't. It doesn't work. We know it doesn't work. And the sad part is, far too many women, when they finally come to the conclusion that this doesn't work, they're out of options. But we're going to ask the question today for modern women, for women especially under the age of 45. I'm going to just say under 45. Under 45. Can you just choose to be housewife worthy? And if so, how is a man supposed to know you can do what it is he would want a woman to do? See, the funny thing is, you ladies, you don't want to build a bread or build a boo. You don't want potential when it comes to a man. How about this? Get your pen and paper, folks. You ready for a Godfather original? They don't want to build a bread or build a boo. You don't want to date potential when it comes to a man, but you want a man to marry you as a potential housewife. Oh, that's right. Nothing in your past shows that you can be the kind of woman that you say you could be. A man has to date your potential ability to be a cooperative, supportive wife. Nothing you've done. Every relationship you've been in, you have ended them. The majority of the time. Look at all the relationships you've been in. Even not what you call relationships, interaction. It's you leaving a man. So always talk about a man cheating on somebody. Y'all got nerve when y'all leave at 80% of the time. When a divorce happens or a breakup happens, just you guys leaving. You guys are the ones breaking up stuff, not men. The women I'm talking about, not the 10% of y'all that don't do it. The 90% of y'all that do this, you who I'm talking to. Then you expect the man who has had to get out here to become the best version of himself, to hit his financial stride between the ages of 45 and 55, if you're lucky 40, and you expect him to roll the dice, marry you, and bet on your potential to be a good housewife. The potential to be a housewife, and he has to be faithful to you. You're insane. You're insane. I think that's insanity. I think it's insanity for women. Get the likes up, people, or else we go to intermission. I think it's insanity for most. And see, why is this such a big deal? Because most women have never looked at it from the man's standpoint. You've never looked at it from the man's standpoint. It's all from what you want, how you get it. And then when it turns out that the men are rejecting that, then you get upset. Well, I don't know what you ladies are expecting men to do, but I want to hear from you ladies. How are you going to prove to men? How are you going to prove to the men that matter that you can just choose to become a modern housewife? How are you going to prove that? Ladies, how are you going to show that? How are you going to demonstrate it? Because my thing is, I am all for women becoming the best versions of themselves because that makes you better for the men out here who want you. That's it. So that's why I laugh when we talk about your PhDs and your masters and this and that and your career that. All that shows is you can go make somebody else money. You can make somebody else successful. But professional success means nothing compared to relational success. One of the things I had to explain to her yesterday is your professional success is inversely proportional to your sexual marketplace value. I don't care how much money you make or your education or where you live or how good a professional you are. You're 41 and you're less valuable than you were at 31. And that's less valuable than where you're at 21. And the big problem is so many women wait so long to decide that they want to possibly finally be married to where your price is too high, your eggs are past or geriatric. Your experience and your money you're asking too much. And then your pride and your ego will not allow you to really be honest and say, I'm not my value is lower. Well, let me go ahead and since you're mad at me already, let me go ahead and put the final nails in the coffin. There are no 10s over age 30. So if you're a woman and you call yourself a 10 and you're over age 30, you're capping. There are no 10s over age 30. for every child you have, you drop 2 points. So if you're a 9, you have a kid, that drops you to an adjustable 6 because there is no 7. If you're an 8, that drops you to a 6. So what are you saying? If I'm an 8 and I got 2 kids, that makes you a 4. Below average. Yup. Don't get mad at me. Well, you can't generalize. You can't generalize. We're the only ones that can. So you women over 35 who keep talking about, I could choose to be married. No, you can't. No, you can't. Stop lying. You can't. You are not actively fielding proposals for men that you value. You could possibly be married to a man that you don't value, but if there was a man that you valued, you'd be on the first thing smoking. You wouldn't be turning it down. That wouldn't make any sense. That wouldn't make no sense. He's a Chewbacca. It would make no sense. Why is this important? Why is this important? Well, ladies, it's important because as long as women are laboring under these delusions, well, Kevin, the way you talk to women, it just takes away their hope. And I don't want women to not have any hope. I want women to be realistic. That's what I want. I want women to be realistic because when you got women who are filled with all this unrealistic hope.
Take it away from you. Take it away from your friends. We're actually having a conversation about women having babies in their 40s. That's how warped we've become in the Black community because we cannot get it together in our prime mating and marrying years. Because so many of our women value these so-called careers. Now, I don't doubt that you have a career, but I got to let you know how many women I've talked to over the countless years who call their job a career. Most people have a job. Most people have jobs. Most people don't have careers. And it seems to be, why can Becky, Marisol, Mylene, and Anu all go out and have jobs and careers just like Black women have jobs and careers and still be able to spin that plate and find a husband?
Boom! There it is, women. Why can your non-Black counterparts get out and be as successful, arguably more successful than you at all levels, yet still be able to find and be able to spin the plate and find and marry a husband? The next lowest married rate of women is white women at 52% or 54%. They're twice as married. So that means your PhD.
I'm a PhD.
Doesn't mean a damn thing. That doesn't mean that you couldn't get married. That means your master's, your this, your that. Every other group of women has shown you how to do all of this. And when you ask the average Black woman that, you see that where her face is? It's like, because there's nothing they can say. Nothing. You go look at this, an executive for Pepsi. She would tell you when she was running a multinational company, but when she came home, she was number 2. When we used to have What's Up Doc on here, the woman who was married with 4 kids, and she was a surgeon, a doctor from Johns Hopkins, and went to the Mayo Clinic. I'm sorry. Extremely accomplished woman. We've had non-Black woman after non-Black woman, married, accomplished, verifiable stats, who will still come in and say, yes, I've been able to find a husband. Why is it then? And let's have a conversation, Black women. Why can't you? And before you start before you start blaming Black men, before you start saying the problems with the men, you're not marrying anybody. So you can't put this off on Black men. You got to, why are you not marrying anyone? Let me go ahead and just throw it out here. I think that a lot of modern Black women in this case have they don't want to be number 2. Because being a wife, I've heard so many black women, being a wife means being diminished, means being a failure, not being means being diminished, means being a slave, means giving up all. And where have you gotten? And that's why I was on Lapeef the other day. Where have you gotten all this information? Because no other group of women thinks about being married like this, to where it's something to be feared, where you can be with somebody for 6 years and that's fine. We are to the point to where sisters are openly saying, I would rather be a baby mama than a wife. I'll have your baby, but a wife, now that's a bridge too far. Where did that thought process come from? And when I was on Lapeef yesterday, I said it comes from the women to the women. You're the first teachers of the children and a transmitter of culture. But we did not used to think this way. Before 1965, black folks are married at a rate of 80%. This is when I go into my theory of the color purpling of a black America. This came along heavily after 1983, the color purple. This is where this stuff got injected into popular culture. Mr. and all these abusive, misogynistic black men that don't exist. Not like they try to make it seem. And then, no disrespect to Tyler Perry, but you got to admit, when I used to see mama this, mama that, it's always some trope about, the dark-skinned, successful black man with the bald head comes in and oppresses the black woman, and then she has to leave, and then she's saved by the light-skinned former felon who's with a heart of gold, who loves some Jesus. High-value man, rich, wealthy, successful man is the abuser, the misogynist. Jesus, he's just horrible. And then she has to leave, and she has to run back to Big Mama and then get around her girlfriends. And then here comes Shamar Moore with cornrows doing your yard. And he got a heart for Jesus and love you and restores you. That's some bullshit. So the one issue I do have with a lot of these self-love and this and that is preach self-love, but when you start tearing down the image of men that share my reflection, we're going to have a problem if I see you in public, because I keep the same energy. I'll tell you to your face, that's bullshit. And I can handle myself, so don't think it's sweet. Why is that important? It's important because so many of our women get mixed messages, wrong messages, to where even the women who are really out here trying to understand the difference, who do they listen to? There's not enough respect for the average reflection of a black man, or average respect of a man in general, black man in particular. So you keep each other's counsel. Then you find out when you get out to the world and you try to get around the kind and caliber of man it is you say you want, and you find out that they're good to deal with you. That's why I said it. We keep score with marriages over here. And how many times will a woman say, I don't have any problems? Even this woman said it. One day I'm going to be married and this and that. And I was like, yeah, like I'm rooting against you. I'm like, but you spent your 8 months with a guy that you said wasn't on your level, and you're at 41. 8 months is very valuable later in life. Well, and instead of just saying, yeah, you're right, here comes that ego. Well, I don't have a problem in that area. And I said it. God damn. Some of the most prideful. Pride. More prideful. That's a masculine energy. So finally, ladies, if you're a modern woman with these prideful notions and this masculine energy and all this other kind of stuff. My true question is, can you just simply choose to be a housewife? Can you simply choose to think a provider man should marry you and provide for you and the children? Why? Why should a man who's a top 20%, top 10%, top 5%, top 3%, top 1% man, why should he take you when you have nothing to, when you didn't learn it growing up, you didn't see it growing up, you haven't learned it to date? Why should men marry your potential and you're not willing to get with a man on his potential? Why? That's the question. But you know what? Maybe I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. I may not know what I'm talking about, but I'm willing to learn. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that makes sense? That a man should just be willing to, get with a woman based on her potential? Don't matter, right? Get with her based on her potential, but yet you got to do your part, bro. You got to do your part. Let's see.
Yeah. Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
Women only. No men in the call. I don't want to hear from any guy today. You must be on camera. And by participating on the show, in the chat room, on the call line, in the Zoom call, you are giving your implied consent. You are waiving your privacy.
Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
You like the new transition? I'm working on it. So I went and bought a bigger stream deck to handle the soundboard and everything else. So I'm still trying to get the programming. So thank you guys for being patient. Again, no men. I'm only talking to the ladies. And I want to talk to the women who disagree. If you agree with me, I appreciate it. But I got to be honest, as the platform continues to grow, I really want to try to get some of these concepts, and I need you to challenge the concept. Maybe I'm blind in an area. Maybe, but understand, I'm not speaking for Kevin Samuels. That's one thing we need to get real clear. This ain't about me. If you're not on camera, you won't be getting on. And if you think I'll get on, I'll just take a chance to troll, it won't work. I mean, you can try it, but. So let's do this real quick, though. I see Rosie, you're going to be up next. But I do want to say thank you. before we get into this, I do want to say a quick thank you because we have hit a milestone, and I think it requires a little bit of acknowledgement. I work so hard. I work hard. I keep my head down, and I work. Gentlemen, you'll never lose women or resources chasing your purpose. You'll never lose chasing your purpose. Chase your purpose. You guys have been able to watch my YouTube channel grow from where it was to where it is. You've been able to watch the content. You've been able to watch me grow. Been able to watch me improve. So that's why when people want to talk about me or say something, I'm like, you can watch everything. I'm not making this up. And if I can become the best version and still got a ways to go, but on the path, what can you do? So thank you guys. For 600,000, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Again, gentlemen, it's your channel. Ladies, you are welcome here. I'm looking for the men who want to do the work, and the women who want to work with the men who want to do the work. All right, so Rosie, you're gone. Need to come back. I'll be announcing the new prize Sunday. And if you want to enter the prize of the cat, stay tuned. Rosie, you ready? Let's go. Moderators, keep dropping the link keep dropping the link in for women only. Rosie, unmute yourself. Hello. I can. How are you? Good. So, can modern women just choose to be housewife worthy, quote unquote, high value lifestyle?
Can they just choose?
Yeah.
Can you
just choose to do
everything
it?
everything goes back to how you're raised. So
okay. Well, what if you weren't raised that way? Then what?
You weren't shown that kind of lifestyle, so you don't know.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 30.
All right. So there are women who would say, "Damn, Rosie, there's no hope then." Is that what
There's no hope for what?
Well, there's no hope if you didn't get it when you were raised. What's the alternative?
There's other alternatives. I think that it just goes back to how the woman is, and it all goes back to how the woman is actually raised by her family and two parents. So
okay, granted, I agree with you then. But so let's put a period there.
Okay.
After 18, you're responsible for yourself. Now what? If you didn't get it before 18, what?
You have to learn. You have to get yourself a degree, get educated.
A degree in what?
I'm a nurse, so I'm sorry, I'm a little biased.
A degree in, but we're talking about, okay, go get a degree in housewife?
No, you don't get a degree in being a housewife. That's earned, like I said.
Well, okay, back up. I said you got to put a period in and move on. And I said, if you didn't learn it at 18, by 18 at home, what do you do? You said you got to go learn. I said, where?
You have to learn. Yeah, you have to be educated.
And you said and I said, go where? You said you have to get a degree. That makes no sense.
It does make sense. So I think the modern woman.
Explain it to me. Explain. Hold on. Don't. Okay. A degree in what?
You should have a degree regardless.
No.
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 You don't think you need a degree?
No.
Okay.
Why do you need a degree if ultimately you want to be a housewife with 3 kids? Why do you need to go in and get it?
Hold on. Who said that?
Okay, lady, how long have you been watching my show? You know what? How long have you been watching my show?
I've been watching your show for a while.
All right, then act like you've been here before. Most women who come on here want to be married and have kids.
You asked me a question. I'm answering your question.
Yeah, but you're not. Okay. I'm going to treat the witness as hostile. Why are you here?
I just thought you had good content, and I had a couple of friends that listened to you as well.
Okay, so. But I got a program tonight, and you're not talking about the topic. You're not talking about anything at this point.
I'm telling you the topic, and I'm telling you an answer.
No, you're not. Don't overtalk. Don't overtalk me. I'm asking about where do you go if you didn't learn it by 18? Do you have anything to tell the women, or are you just here to make some points?
Since I'm 18, or do I have it learned by a certain age? No. I think a woman can be submissive for the right man.
Okay. So did you learn how to be a traditional housewife before at home?
Traditional housewife at home? No.
Okay. Do you want to be one?
I'm not opposed to it. No.
I ask you, do you want to be one?
One day.
Okay. So just like you just said, you want to be one day, but you didn't learn it. So there's no hope for you either.
I didn't learn it? No. Because
I asked you, did you learn it at home?
That's why I didn't learn it.
You what?
I'm not married. That's why I didn't learn it.
So again, another smart ass woman. You can be snarky all you want to, but you're just making my point. I'll make you famous. Keep going. I'll make you famous. Keep going, because I've asked the questions, and now you're proving yourself to be exactly what the issue is. Another modern snarky ass woman.
No, I never said anything snarky.
Oh yeah, you are with your little snarky ass attitude. I never said anything snarky. There you are. But you want to be a fool? I'll clown with you. Let's do it. What do you have of value to say? Because you said if you didn't learn it before 18, then you have to learn it. Where? You got to get a degree in what?
You have to grow up with strong family values.
Again, you're saying nothing.
Yeah.
You guys see her up in the corner? This is what modern women have devolved to. Opinions with nothing. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Alyssa sitting here looking at this idiot. Well, yeah. Well, of course. You could go to school. If you didn't learn it from school, you didn't learn it from home from your mother. Well, then you have to go get a degree. But I'm a modern woman. Of course I could do it. Oh, yeah. You're going to be a whole goddamn video. Come over here acting a mother flipping fool and think you're going to get away with that? No. No, you won't get away with that. They laughing at her. They laughing at her because
I'll make you famous.
Thank you. And showing what modern men have to deal with. Pretentious, educated, useless women. That woman's 30 years old and a nurse. She probably don't like me because I already said, see, another one of these nurses, guys. Sorry, ladies. Sorry for the nurses that got sense. But we get more nurses over here like this because I walk around doctors and because I work in a hospital and because I have something that puts me in medicine. I can choose to be a modern woman and a housewife if I want to, if I can just go back to school because Princeton teaches how to be a housewife. They have an undergrad degree. MIT teaches you how to be like a soccer mom, for sure. Fuck you mean? I'm sorry. Woosah. All right. Alyssa, how are you? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm sorry, but come on.
Yeah. That was a little much. Oh. I don't even think she really knew what she was talking about, to be honest. So
we're going to go ahead and move on from her. So, how old are you? I just always ask.
I just turned 32.
All right. So the premise is, can modern women really just choose to make themselves housewife worthy?
Right.
So what do you got on the topic?
So I actually liked what you had just said about like how this platform is for men and this is like for women who also want to put the work in. Mm-hmm. Because that's kind of like where I'm at. Like, I think you can choose, but it's going to take some work if you want to choose to have that lifestyle. Like you just did that, like turn in your chair, or like, can you just turn around and be a housewife? Like, no, definitely not. But if you were like to surround yourself by those people who like are housewives, then you can learn from them. And I was really lucky to have a mother who was a phenomenal housewife, but I have chosen, like a lot of other modern women, to focus on my career or job for the past 10 years.
Okay. But what I noticed different between you and the first person is an inherent tone of good faith. And see, that's all men are really asking for. Because you're welcome. And I could easily flip and say modern men were not raised to be traditional alpha leader men. We weren't. We were taught to be a softer, more gentle, in touch with your feeling. John Wayne and those kind of guys likely would not understand us. That does not mean that modern men cannot be successful leader alpha kind of men. We just have to learn it. And I think if women understand that you have a man who's willing to say, I was raised by a single mother and I didn't know this stuff, but I'm willing to be accountable for everything. I'm willing to stand in the gap, take the bullet for you and my family, but I have to learn how to do it. I think more good faith women are willing to give the man the opportunity to do that because he would grant her the same grace. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. I like 100% agree. And I actually just want to share, like I joined a matchmaking service after listening to you. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I appreciate you bringing some sanity to that because I don't like starting off that way. Appreciate it, ma'am. Have a good evening.
Yes. Yeah, you too. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. And see, ladies, that's how this is supposed to go. I don't know why that woman came in here with the level of snark she did, but it ain't about me. What I think is going to be required for us all is a certain level of acceptance that, and I say this, that you're going to get, at best, you're going to get about 80% of what you want. If you were to get me, at best, you're going to get 80%. 80% is all I'm going to be responsible for, ever. And if 80% ain't good enough, boo-boo, go somewhere else. I can't be 100%. Because you can't be 100% of what I want. It's unrealistic. But if you're 80%, I can work with that. Case in point. When I was younger, I used to want, this drop dead gorgeous woman. I wanted her to do this, educated and that. I had a whole thing in my life that I thought was the woman I wanted. I had this power couple dynamic. But the more I grew into the man I needed to be, I realized, you know what? I really want a woman. She still has to be attractive, but I'll go down in looks to go up in cooperativeness, go up in niceness and civility. That became a hell of a lot more attractive than the straight up dime who, she wasn't a B. She wasn't a bad person. She just wasn't where I needed her to be. So that didn't mean she was bad or I was good. We just didn't match one another, but I had to learn what worked for me and what I needed. So, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to bounce everybody who's not on camera back. First, we're going to go to right down the line. V.S. Stewart, Miss Love, Gianni, MSA Banner, and Kia. We're going to go down the line. All right, let's go. Unmute yourself, please.
Hello? Hi. I didn't really want to talk. I just was listening.
Oh, okay.
But I just wanted to agree
hold
with
on.
the
Did you
other
want?
young lady.
Hold on. Did you want to get on the program, or were you just listening to the show?
I was listening to the show, but I wanted to reiterate what the girl said before me. Mm-hmm. She's right. I think that's she's right about that. It's just I think modern women do have that choice. They can do that if they want to. It's just like you said. It's like give and take.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get to somebody who wants to be in the show, though. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So appreciate it. Gianni, go ahead and ask you to unmute.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
22.
22. So, what do you want? Do you want to be married?
I do.
Were you raised to be a traditional housewife or anything like that?
I was not.
You was not. Okay. How were you? Were you raised with mom and dad? Or were you just raised with mom? What?
Single mom.
Okay. So first question is, why do you want to be married?
Because I want to raise my kids with two parents.
Okay. Okay. Then what are you doing to help you round out your experience that you did not get from growing up?
Well, I'm here, so that's a start.
That's a start.
Yeah, so because I didn't get a lot of good teachings at home, I've just invested in my healing and really put myself out there to learn from books. I studied social work in school, so I had to read a bunch of books about marriage. And basically what I learned is that a lot of people say that they're committed, but they're actually not committed because they always have one foot out the door. And that was like a huge breakthrough to me, is that a lot of people are making commitments, but not actually giving their all. And ultimately, they're just not accepting each other. Like you said,
so,
the 80%.
So let me ask, okay, so you said you invested yourself, and 22, you said school and books.
Yes.
What's the longest relationship you've had?
2.5 years.
How long ago did that end?
7 months ago.
So I would say this, that books are good, this is good, but sooner or later you're going to have to get out and actually work with a man.
Yeah.
Are you open to dating men who are 10 years older than you?
Maybe like 8.
How many children would you like to have?
2.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with the first child?
No.
What state do you live in?
Texas.
Then if you're not prepared to do a man who's 10 years older than you, you're going to be working.
Working after pregnancy?
Yeah, because for a family of 4 to have a middle class lifestyle, how much do you think a family income you'll need?
Maybe 6 figures total?
No.
Is it more?
Yes. 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 I mean, you're looking at reasonably around 100, and depending on part of the Texas, at least 150 to 200, 250 on the low side, because you're going to want your kids to be able to go to at least a decent. You're going to want them to go to a good public school, live in a nice suburban neighborhood that's clean. These things cost. Mm-hmm. And if you're working and your husband's working, that's basically being working damn near poor, because where your kid's going to be. And the net of it, what percentage of men earn 6 figures or more in this country?
Is it 10%?
Yeah, and if you don't want to work to pay significant bills, that 6 figures has to be made by him. And men don't make that until 45 to 55 traditionally. So let me let you young ladies in on a secret. Your husband is not your age. He's not. And these notions that older women have made you guys realize, dating an old man is perverted. They're telling y'all that so they can try to keep them to themselves. So get more books, that's good, but you're going to have to start thinking about getting back out and dating, because there's still only so much you can learn on the sideline. So appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Thank you. So let's do this. Yeah, man. I know how that goes a lot of times when women are told that, okay, I see everybody in the waiting room. Just a second. All right. If you have a disagreement, raise your hand. I'm looking for the people who have an issue with what I'm saying. So We're gonna go to Okay, Miss Banner, and then Kia, then okay. Go ahead, Miss Banner. Go ahead.
Hi,
Hello.
Kevin. How are you? Hi.
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 36.
All right. So, do you have a disagreement with what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
So first I had a question for you first. You
Okay.
said modern woman. So your question is, can a modern woman choose to be a housewife, correct?
Yep. Can you just choose to be a housewife? Mm-hmm.
So my question before I answer that is, what's your definition of a modern woman?
Oh, any woman born after 1960.
Okay, so the age is what makes her a modern woman.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you were born in the West, notions of equality, notions of fluid gender roles. I mean, I don't want to have to. I don't know how much more we have to go into it. I mean, I don't think if I went back into your family history, how many of the women were single at your age? If I went back 100 years ago.
Well, I'm Nigerian, so that's
Then none of them were.
I'm sorry?
Then none of them were.
Well, my mom is, so.
If I say I went back 100 years.
Yeah, then no, they weren't.
Exactly. So modern women are single in middle age.
Okay. So your question was that these women who are single in middle age, can they choose to be a housewife?
Are they worthy of it? Yeah.
Are they worthy of it?
Yeah.
I believe so. They are
Really?
worthy of it.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Do you want to be a housewife?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you want children?
I do. I have one.
Okay. You want more?
I do.
How many more?
One or two.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with the next child?
That depends. That depends on how much my significant other is making.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills?
Have to? No. Have to?
All right. So
Absolutely.
How much would a man need? What state do you live in?
In New York.
Right. New York City?
Yes.
I lived there for a while. How much money would a man need to make in New York City to support a family of 5?
A family of 5, that's at least 300, 400,000.
In New York City. Really? No.
Well, if you're talking about city like Manhattan,
where do you live? Where do you live?
Different amount. In
5
Brooklyn.
boroughs?
In Brooklyn.
All right. I'm sorry. I'll be in New York in a couple of weeks. Brooklyn ain't cheap either. I lived in New York.
A family of 5 can make it on like 400, 500,000. They can.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Let's 400, 500, not 3.
Okay. Even 3.
But
I would say even 3.
What percentage of men make $300,000 a year?
Not a lot.
No, what percentage?
I don't know, the upper 5%, if that. 1%, maybe.
Yeah, 1%. About
so
1%.
Now your question also, but you didn't ask me where I wanted to stay in New York.
We haven't even got to where I'm going before you start misdirecting.
Okay.
If 1% of men make $300,000 or more, what do these men typically want from a wife? One, they don't typically want their wives to have children.
Mm-hmm.
So that typically disqualifies most women from men who are earning that kind of money.
I don't necessarily agree with you on that.
I don't care if you agree or not. I talk to the men and I have thousands of them. You can have an opinion. We got the facts, data, statistics on our side. So what are you disagreeing on? What you think or what the men say?
What the men say.
Okay, where are you getting your information from? No. Where are you getting your information from the men from?
From the men.
Where?
The men that make that amount that are in my circles.
In your circles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's anecdotal.
That could be. However,
it is anecdotal, man. No. See, this is where the modern woman thing comes in. The suspension of disbelief. Right here, it's on display right now.
So here's my question. So you're saying that
you're
anecdotal.
Time out.
Okay.
Pipe the energy back, because at the end of the day, ma'am, you have a child. And you said modern women, you can choose. Well, if you could choose to do it and was simply that, why haven't you done it yet?
Who said I haven't?
Because you don't have the man.
Who said I don't?
Get off my goddamn YouTube playing.
So my question is,
get off my show playing. I'm not playing fucking games with you, ladies.
I'm not
What
playing
is your
games
problem?
with you. Here's the thing.
Yeah, who said I haven't? Who said I'm not? Another one right there. Right there. This is the 36-year-old woman coming onto the YouTube show acting a damn fool. Who says I haven't? Who says I don't? Who do you know? And you wonder why I asked the question. Look, right there you go. And you think this is doing you some good? I mean, honestly. Just sit here looking like, what are you gaining from this? If you're not going to answer the question, you know what? Let's do it this way. You want to play games? We'll play. You want to play? We'll play.
I'll make you famous.
You want to play? We'll play. I'm going to put you guys in the waiting room. You want to play, ma'am? Miss Kia, I'll come back to you in just a second. Miss Love, I'll come back to you in a second. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have an interaction. You're going to respect the platform. And I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. But don't start this passive aggressive. Don't start what you just tried a minute ago. Because I'll just mute you and boot you. It's not going to get anywhere. So I have a question before we get started. Why take that path that you just took with the questions I asked?
So can I answer the question?
You could have answered any of the questions I asked without being sarcastic.
I wasn't being sarcastic. So
who says I haven't? Who says I wasn't? That's being sarcastic.
I thought we're having a dialogue.
That's not a dialogue, man. I don't know. Well, if you were a man having a dialogue like that, you get punched in the mouth.
So can I respond to your question?
If you were a man, if you were being a man and had a dialogue like that, you get punched in the mouth.
So can I respond to your question?
If you're going to respond like you have some sense, you can. If you're going to just do this back and forth, I'll just let you go.
So in response to your question, you never asked me about whether, if I have or haven't been married. You never asked me anything about my background, but however, you made assumptions.
Ma'am, are you married to a high value man?
Currently, no.
Okay, then that's all that matters, because if you were, you wouldn't be on my show. I can assume you're not married to a high value man, because if you did, he wouldn't allow you to get on here and make a fool of yourself like this. So I can take it any way you want to go.
So back to your question.
Back to what I'm saying. You ain't running shit. I know what you think you're running, except you can bounce that stuff in New York where you want to go. You don't even know how much it costs to raise a family, support a family. Mm-hmm. So you damn sure have just proven you don't know how to cooperate with a man who earns that kind of money. So the fact that you think that women like yourself can just choose to be fit for these kind of men, you ain't even fit for a damn conversation.
But this isn't really a...
That's what it is. Kick rocks. Bye-bye. You see why I say the need for therapy so high? Angry ass energy. You always check that shade angry side. When you shave that on down, like, I'm just mad. This isn't a conversation. Hey guys, she's out there waiting for you. There's your queen. She's in Brooklyn. She's in Brooklyn and it's springtime. Rush over there to get her right now. No waiting. She's already got one kid. She's got the starter pack for you. Run on down to Brooklyn. Slide on down to Dumbo and you can get her. She wants 2 more kids. And you can pay for them all. Go get her. Want to hear how it turns out. make sure you bring Xanax, bourbon, and a will. All right. Sorry about that. Miss Love. How are you?
Can you hear me?
I can. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 22.
22. You're a little young for this conversation, but I will hear you out. But you're a little young. What do you got for me?
Well,
You've called in before.
No, I haven't.
Okay. So what do you have for me? Kind of young.
Oh, okay. Because I kind of related a little bit to the young lady that was 22. I forgot her name that was just on here today. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm kind of in a weird situation because I watch your show and stuff, and I kind of feel like, I don't know. It seems like I get anxiety sometimes watching it because, like, I do want to be married. Okay. And there's a lot of things that I don't do on purpose to prepare to be married.
Okay. Well, if you want, are you in college?
Yes, I am.
What's your degree path?
So I'm in college for psychology.
Oh my God.
I just started.
Oh my God. But here's the thing. Listen, if you want to have a degree in psychology, but if you don't prepare to go to class, and if you don't prepare and work your curriculum, you're not going to have a degree in psychology now, are you?
Yeah.
So if you want to be a wife, but you don't do the things to prepare, you're not going to be one or a successful one.
Yeah. See, like, okay, so I am in school for psychology, but like, that's not what I really want to do. Like,
that's not the point, young lady. The point is, if you want to be married, you have to prepare yourself to be a wife. He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor with the Lord. The presumption is you are a wife when he finds you. If you want to be a wife, either you prepare now or you tell a man to take a risk on your potential preparation after he marries you. And men aren't doing that these days. They simply are not. So now you have a choice to make. So I wouldn't think that would be anxiety. I think that would be liberating to know that if I don't prepare, I likely won't get the outcome. And if I do prepare, most women aren't preparing, so that increases my chances. I would think that would be rather liberating. The problem is now you got to choose. Have a good one.
You too.
See, I think that's what it is, that so many, in human beings, so many of us have so many choices. It's like, well, I don't want to, how do I choose? Well, you don't want your freedoms taken away. I don't want, Kia, you're next. We don't want to take your freedoms away and then Favor, you next. We don't want to take your choices away, but you got to start preparing. Go ahead, Kia.
Good night, Mr. Samuels.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. What do you got for me? How old are you, by the way?
I'm 26.
What do you got for me on the topic?
I just have a question. Okay. In order for a modern woman to become a ideal wife, what would you per se like give advice in order for her to do that?
Well, one, it depends on what kind of husband and what kind of lifestyle you want. But I can give you some general stuff, but just general advice. Generally, men are looking for women who are cooperative.
Okay.
And what does that mean? That you say yes. Say yes all the time. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Say yes. Don't ask questions. Just say yes. I mean,
that's the sense of cooperation that you're speaking with.
See? Do you think men want to be questioned about everything?
No, I'm aware that men don't like to be questioned about everything.
No. Why do men like cats and not dogs?
Because cats are more, I guess, lenient.
Because dogs obey.
Mm.
You ever try to call a cat?
Yeah, they don't
right
at all.
A cat's called man's best friend?
No.
Meow, 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 meow.
Not at all.
What's called man's best friend?
A dog.
Right.
Yeah.
But why when I say just say yes, why did that grate your nerves? Why did that make you go,
I don't, it's not really.
But you didn't say, that's it? That's all? You weren't overjoyed with that shit?
I'm not overjoyed about it. I'm okay with it. Like, I'm very open-minded. I'm very
But what
cooperative
I'm
when it comes
saying is you
to.
didn't just like, yay for yes. It was
Because
like,
I'm just not that like, yay, oh my God.
okay, so cooperation, say yes more than anything else.
So it's basically like a cheerleader, like you want to
Well,
cheer,
no,
like,
no, no, it's
go.
more than a cheer. No. It's just
Okay.
because the thing is, what state do you live in?
I live in New York and I'm residing in Queens.
Okay, so if I asked you how to get to Wall Street from Queens,
okay,
you could tell me how to do that.
Of course.
But I could also tell you that if I'm leaving the same place you're leaving, do you think I would give you the exact route you gave?
Probably not.
No,
There's
but the destination will be the same. But the point is, as a woman, you would think that if I didn't go your way, I don't know where I'm going. All you need to know is the destination, not the path. The goal, not the path. And oftentimes when somebody's driving, they don't need to tell you, I'm driving, okay, in 100 feet, I'm going to switch lanes. In 400 feet, I'm going to turn left. I'm going to decelerate. I'm going to accelerate. I'm going to brake now. But that's how y'all like to do. What are you about to do? What are you about to do? What are you about to do? How fun or pleasurable of a drive is that? If I got to tell you every flipping thing I'm doing. Yeah, but I want to know because I'm a passenger and it's my safety. Kick your ass and get on the bus then. Okay, the next one. Fitness. Men want women who are fit.
Yeah, I know. I actually have a personal trainer that I work with like 3 times a week. And I actually brought like a set of like workout equipment and everything. So it's on the way right now.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
Dress size?
My dress size is a 12.
Any children?
No children.
That's a problem. There's absolutely no reason unless you have a doctor's note that says you have a glandular problem. There's absolutely no reason for that. No. So when you tell a man, I got a personal trainer and I got equipment on the way, you know what that says? Let me flip it. You know what? I ain't got no money, but I put in applications and I got some callbacks. Let's have sex.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So cooperation, something you can do something about, and fitness is something you all can do something about. So when men see women who are unfit, women tell men of the group what they think they deserve by your attitude and your appearance.
I understand that.
So you got your personal trainer and all that other stuff. That's nice, but you 3 times a week, you need to be in the gym twice a day.
I would love to, but the way my days are set up, it's not even cooperative. Like, the only time I actually have more.
Let me go ahead and turn my camera on so you can see. Let me go ahead and turn my camera on so you can see my face. Go ahead. You were saying
the only days that I actually have like flexible freedom are like Wednesdays and Thursdays.
You see my face?
Yes.
I don't care.
I know.
I don't give a shit.
I understand.
Eat less.
That I am.
Lose sleep. Eat less, lose sleep. No excuses. And if you don't adopt an attitude of no excuses, what do you expect your man to do? You expect him to come, well, I can't pay the lights or the mortgage because, excuse. I can't pay that. I can't pay this. I can't pay that. Then, well, we could light candles. You want to live like this?
No.
Or you want to live like this?
Bright and live in color.
Damn it, no excuses. I mean, seriously, I'm trying to be, because at 20, at your age, if you don't develop the habits like right now, a man is basically taking a risk that you're going to be larger later. And that's what men think. They don't want to say it. And you want to live a life that you like what you see in the mirror, that you like yourself, that you want to do that for you. For the men, it's just a benefit that we gladly accept.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfectly sense.
All right. Well, so those are two things. All right. Have a good day.
Same to you.
Bye-bye. All right, Kia. So, Miss Favor, the favor of love in the house. Let's go ahead, unmute yourself. She's just been over here cracking up. Hello.
Unmute. Okay, there I
How
am.
are you?
Can you hear me? I'm good. Thank you.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 30.
All right. What you got for me?
So, so the topic is, can
modern women just choose to be housewife worthy?
No, they cannot. They cannot. And okay. I don't think they can, because I believe that in order to be a housewife, you have to be raised to be that way by your mother or your grandmother or the women in your family.
Okay.
And you have to see it firsthand, like what it takes to actually be a housewife. So a modern woman who hasn't been raised that way, it would be really, really difficult for her to just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to be a housewife. So
if I were to say that, they'd say I'm taking women's hope away, that I hate women. So let's play. What can women do? Because here's the thing: 8 out of 10 people born in the Black community were born to single parents. 8 out of 10 of us don't have a choice. That's women included.
Okay.
So we can't choose that. So what happens if, through no choice of their own, they were born into the family they were born into? What about after they leave home?
Well, okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, they can look for a role model. So look at women who are housewives, or look at women who were raised to be housewives, and just like take notes from them.
Okay.
Like study them, spend time with them. That's how I would do it. Fortunately, my mom was a housewife for almost 20 years, so I got to see firsthand.
Do you have any single girlfriends?
No.
Okay.
No, every woman I know is like, their wife.
Okay. So what about when you were younger? Did you have any women who were younger who were trying to pick your brain for these kind of things you grew up with?
No, it's most younger women, they just, they want to live it up. They want to party, hang out, have fun. They don't really want to learn how to be a housewife, because it sounds boring, and it can be boring, but it's fulfilling.
So it sounds like you know a bunch of housewives. You might have a good business idea, because I think you're right. I think that you have to basically find a coach or a mentor. Yep. And the problem is, usually most women who are coaches and mentors are probably a little older. But I think here's what I would say. As a man, if I met a woman who was in the danger zone, 27 to 35, and she said that I'm going to Favor Excellence's Wife Academy.
Okay.
What that would tell me, at least, is she's putting some money out to learn something. That would mean something to me, because it's more than reading a book. It's more than something. She's having to go into that Hermes bag and say, you know what? Instead of getting these shoes or this, I'm gonna put it into that, in the hopes of benefiting down the line. I think more men would be willing to give that woman some grace.
Right.
Because she's at least demonstrating she's willing to do something. That does not currently exist in any major formats, and those aren't things that can be taught by men. I can't teach femininity, and if I could, I think it would look really weird.
Right.
And women who are raised more traditionally, and honestly, I'm thinking most men who are provider males who like to have their wives, I think that's kind of a home-based business they could kind of support, because even their daughters could attend the academy while mom is teaching them.
That's true. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and, hey, trademark Kevin Samuels. Hey, somebody, cut me in on that idea. I need to give you some housewives. Thanks for coming on. Sis. You have anything else? Or is that it?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you for
having
being
me.
pleasant too. Bye bye.
All right, bye-bye.
That's a good idea, man. See, I have a skill in Clifton Strength Finder. It's called ideation. And I hope my buddy's not watching. He's a Clifton Strength Finder coach. Ideation means I have a lot of ideas, and like 99%, like 95% of them are shit. But those one or two, maybe three, are good. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, so let's get back to it. I do think that if the best place is when you will learn and taught, but I cannot, in good faith, openly tell women that there's no hope for you if you didn't learn it growing up, because that can easily be flipped on men and say, well, if you didn't learn how to be a strong man growing up, there's no hope for you. That ain't how that works. Men just have to accept. I got a lot of shit I got to make up for. All right, we got 5 or 6 people on right now, and no one's on camera. Destiny, your audio's not connected, so gotta wait for that. Okay. Let's go ahead and unmute you. Oh no, there's no hope for you. That ain't how that works. You gotta turn off your. You have to accept. You have to turn off your. You have to turn off YouTube in the background. If you got the TV on or something like that, you got to turn it off. So I'm gonna go back to the that one Nigerian lady with the shaved head and everything else. See, you young ladies, I would say women like that in your life, those women who have those kind of masculine, overbearing, aggressive. That's what I think Donald Trump would say. You're such a nasty. There was no reason to be nasty like that. I don't know that person. Destiny, you got to get back on camera if you want to get on. I don't know you like that. And the point of the matter is, you just got on the show and just made yourself look crazy. So here we go. Putting everybody in the waiting room because Kimberly is gone. So Destiny is next. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Destiny.
Hello.
Hey, how old are you? How old are you, by the way?
I'm 20 years old.
Yeah, you're young for this conversation too. But do you want to be a housewife?
Hopefully, yes, in the future, yes.
Okay. Would you like to have children?
2, yes.
Okay. Were you raised with mom and dad in the house?
Both parents, yes.
All right. Are they is mom helping you in this regard?
Yeah, my mom, well, not really. My mom never really taught me that, but like she did in the same way. Like she taught me what way to dress and how to look and how to present ourselves, but not like necessarily to be a housewife because my mom works.
Okay. Well, why do you want to be then why do you want to be a housewife?
Because I'm not, I seen what it does on my mom's like health. So like, I don't want to be in like the same condition, I guess.
Okay. All right. Is your father helping you vet the men you date?
I don't no. My dad's not like that. He's very Christian and he does not believe in dating. The only way he can come see him is if he's asking for my hand in marriage. So
yeah. Right. That's what's supposed to happen though. Your father, so you're in charge of this process?
Yeah, I'm in charge of finding the right person, yeah. Or them finding me. I don't believe in finding.
My point is, oftentimes when I ask young ladies, and the answer comes back as my father is strict. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, he's strict, but like that's just how it is, I guess.
But
I've never.
my point is, who is helping you decide whether or not the men you choose to deal with are worth your time?
Myself.
You're not qualified.
How am I not qualified?
Because you don't even understand why you're not qualified. You have a father and a mother and a man who loves you more than any man, other man on the planet ever will.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not using him to help you figure out who men are. You cannot know. You're
Well,
20.
my dad has told me what to look for, what not to look
I
for.
understand he's
all
told
that.
you what to look for, but still, once you are interested or a guy is interested in you, does he have to meet your father?
Yes, he has to meet my father. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Right. Meet your father before the first date?
There's no dating, like unless.
Okay,
like,
so how you? Okay, so that's my question. If there's no dating, how are you supposed to go from single to married?
So when it is me and that person, we will go and like we will meet up and maybe talk or do all that stuff.
That's considered dating. So what you're telling me is you will have to somehow be out here in the world, interact with a man, whatever you call it. On this side, we call that dating. And then you'll have to bring this guy home, or this guy will have to come home and meet your dad. And he'll say, I want to marry you before I take you out on one date.
Well, no, like you can go on dates, but like not.
So you're not making any sense. So you're not making
like,
any sense. So this is what I'm saying is, young lady, if I were to speak to your father, he would tell me what are the steps to getting. If I had a son and I wanted him to marry you, and I met with your dad, what would be the steps for your son, my son, to become your husband, my son to get your hand in marriage? What would your father say to me, unto my son?
My dad would ask him if he believes in God.
Uh-huh.
That's the first thing he will ask him, or anything else.
Does that matter to you?
Yeah, that matters to me too.
Okay.
They have some.
And then what's next?
What?
Then what's next after belief in God? Then what's next?
And then he's gonna ask their intentions.
Uh-huh.
And then
now this is the person who's just met you. They can't know you. They haven't dated you according to you.
I'm not saying they can't physically. I'm saying no boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. Like you can't.
Let me explain. Okay.
There's dating and then there's
what
dating.
I'm hearing, young lady, is you and your father, you have not had a conversation with your father about how this is supposed to work. Because it shouldn't be this complex. You should be able to tell me how you're supposed to date, how you're supposed to interact with men, if your father's involved in the process. What it sounds to me like you're like most Christian girls. You want to keep your daddy in the dark because you think he's a strict boogeyman of some sorts. And you think you can come out here and figure it out. And I'm gonna tell you, you can't.
I'm not keeping my dad in the dark about anything. So.
Okay, but you're not getting him involved either.
He is involved though.
Okay. I know what. If that's the case, ma'am, then what you've explained makes no sense. And that's a problem. And that's a problem with. This is a problem with. No, young lady. Okay. If you have a father, you got more than most people have. Mm-hmm. He's your father. Involve him in the process. Understand why he believes what he believes, and use him and allow him to do what he's supposed to do. You shouldn't be leading this process, though. No way, ifs, ands, or buts. And also, I'm gonna say something too. Wear your natural hair. That is not your hair, and that's not your shade. You're not on camera. No one will see you. But that's too long, and that color is not you. Your natural hair would be, huh?
My natural hair is like
It's
a red
yours. It's yours.
black.
It ain't,
So,
ma'am,
yeah.
ma'am. As the image consultant, I'm just telling you.
Okay.
For multiple reasons, that's not how your hair grows out your head, and it damn sure don't grow to that length. I just, when I see so many of our young sisters with these long auburn colored locks down here, I was almost like, come on now. I get it. A lot of women who are raised in Christian up in strict Christian backgrounds talk the same way. And none of them talk like, yeah, I'm working. Yeah, I know what my dad wants and this and that. And I'm happy about the process. It's more like, well, I don't know. And well, it's just supposed to happen. And this is how a lot of young ladies sadly end up getting caught up. I've seen far too many young ladies that talk like that who end up pregnant. Because you're so naive about the open dating scene. All right, DC. Okay, all right, Hilly, you're going away. You're not on camera. Phew. Sure. So these last two people. Hi, ladies. Jaya, you just turned off your camera and you're about to. All right, you got to keep your camera on. And Nicole, either you turn your camera on or you got to go. DC, how are you? Unmute yourself.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 31.
All right. What do you got for me?
Okay. So I'm in a male-dominated field.
Okay.
So I think I'm feminine.
All right.
And fun and friendly.
Okay.
I think it spills over to the personal.
Okay. What field are you in?
I'm a lawyer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. Danger zone, lawyer. I have a dog. All those stuff.
You got a dog too?
I got a dog.
Where's my Law and Order sound? It's on here somewhere.
Please don't do it.
Oh yeah, I got it on here. So what city do you live in?
I'm in Alabama.
An Alabama lawyer. Oh my God, a Southern lawyer. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Southern lawyer. You don't hear the accent. I'm a Southern lawyer, but I agree with what you're saying. I'm just trying to see like, what do you suggest? Because I agree with what you're saying.
I suggest
but it's hard. I know I'm supposed to disagree. I agree with what you're saying.
Did y'all hear that? Did you not hear the Law and Order sound?
I couldn't hear. I turned off the YouTube.
What are you supposed to do? Well, you're 31.
Yes.
What do you want? Before we say what you're supposed to do, what do you want?
I never wanted it. And then I'm thinking
about what do you want is the question. I don't know what you want.
I want something. I guess I'm my mom's and my dad has been married for 41 years.
So you want to be married.
I never believed in it, so now I do.
You want to be okay.
Yeah, now I do.
Okay.
Now I do.
Slow down. Slow down. You want to be married?
Yes.
All right. The first thing is calling something what it is.
Yes.
Why did you never want to be married?
I didn't care. I didn't care about it. I don't know why. And even though I saw everybody in my family just doing great in marriage, I don't know. Okay. And it took me to this age to like realize like.
Well, okay, I'm a good personal. Did you want to have sex?
Not necessarily. Not unless I like the person.
My point is, did you want children?
I never used to.
Are you an only child?
No, I have an older brother.
That's atypical. For a woman who says that she's feminine. The feminine matriarchal instinct is normally to, especially around this age, your biological clock should be ticking loudly. So it almost becomes like an overwhelming desire. So have you ever sat down with a clinician?
I need to, shouldn't I? Yeah. No.
Well, I don't know. I would say it's like a checkup. Why not? Because if you're professionally accomplished, okay?
Yeah.
And you come from a two-parent nuclear family where you saw a man and woman working together, that kind of thing. It is not the norm for a woman to say, I don't want a man like my dad. He's supposed to be the marker of men and what you want. So when was the last time you had a relationship?
2015. Isn't that horrible?
I don't know. I mean, how long did it last though?
Year and a half. Yeah.
Okay, a year and a half. And then who broke it off?
It was toxic. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm
saying who
used
broke
to arguing every day.
Okay, who broke off the relationship?
It was a fight. It was a mutual fight. So, and no one ever spoke after the fight. The thing is that I become toxic because I'm feminine and I'm friendly and I'm fun. However, in order to succeed in this particular field,
no, that means every woman that's in your field is single.
No,
that's not.
No,
true.
I don't. I'm not saying that.
We can't say that. Okay, so we can't say that though. Okay. We can say that's what you believe.
No, that's not what I believe.
Okay, hold on. Okay, all right. Now don't argue with me now.
For me.
Don't argue with me.
Kevin.
Don't argue. Hold on. Don't argue with me. So, you were with somebody for a year and a half.
Yeah.
It didn't start off argumentative, did it?
No, you're right.
All right. So there has to be a honeymoon period in a relationship.
It is.
All right. Then why? So why couldn't you sustain that?
That wasn't it.
What do you mean it wasn't it?
It wasn't it. It was toxic. And I might have been a toxic person.
Yeah, because we haven't even got to the point to where toxicity would even rear its head.
It might just be me.
Yeah, because what you're saying doesn't make sense.
Well,
if you are with somebody for a year and a half,
not necessary.
All right, time out. Ma'am, I know what I just said, counselor. However long it was, it doesn't really matter. You were with somebody for a period of time.
Right.
And at the beginning of the period of time, there was a honeymoon phase before there was argument number one.
Right.
Why couldn't you sustain that? And in this questioning, you have been putting out things to just make it argumentative that don't need to be.
I'm being argumentative? I'm sorry. I didn't think I was. But
go back and watch the replay and look at the comment section.
Okay.
Because I just asked you about your relationship and I said there was a honeymoon. There was some point in the relationship where it was a honeymoon phase. You said yes. I said, why couldn't you sustain that? And you just shook your head and said, it was toxic.
No, I acknowledge I might have been a toxic person.
But I asked you before the toxicity, why couldn't you sustain before the poison?
Before the poison, because I never wanted it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess I changed my mind.
Some people just aren't cut out for nobody.
Maybe that's me. Maybe that's me.
Yeah, luckily you make enough money.
But I'm just, I believe everything that you're saying. You're supposed to be fun and friendly.
Man, you can say fun. Okay, I'm going to push back. You can be all that fun and friendly and feminine. What good is it if it's just for you and your dog don't care how feminine you are.
He doesn't. She doesn't.
No, well, even you can't even get a male dog. Goddamn.
I wanted one.
Might be the only man you get.
No, I've had several.
Yeah, but you can't keep none.
You're right. You're right.
Right.
You're
And I would
right.
tell you one thing that men don't want is
What?
argumentative, toxic lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody want those kind of problems.
Okay.
They'd rather have a prostate exam with an egg beater.
Stop it. Stop.
I'm trying to be realistic because this is like a self-imposed prison. Sounds like you're almost content with this. Like, well, you know, it is what it is. Well, fuck it. Go on out there and dig you 6 feet deep. Jump in that motherfucker right now. Go on.
No.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you stage 4 pancreatic cancer. You ain't using the life. Just go ahead and leave.
Don't speak
Well,
that
then
up.
stop acting like it ain't no big deal. And I'm just gonna write it off at 31. And some people ain't for each other. This is a choice you make.
Mm-mm.
You know what it sounds to me like, ma'am? So, like so many of my modern educated women, you're operating from a place of fear and scarcity. You seem very afraid to me.
Okay.
That's why therapy is a good thing, because then you could take down this pretense, this I'm an attorney and I'm this and that. Yeah, go on somewhere, take your makeup off, take your Chanel off, kick your feet off, and go cry somewhere and figure out what the hell's going on, because this ain't normal.
Okay.
What I'm saying is it'll be different if you didn't have options. But if you choose to not be with somebody because that's just not your choice, that's different than not being able to work or deal with anybody because you don't have options.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's kind of like take it away from you so it's not so personal, okay? Think about people that you knew when we were growing up who were like insanely talented, physically talented, academically talented, you know, had like they could do no wrong. Those people, everything they picked up, they just worked at, and it's like a waste in their life if they never succeed in anything. You go back home to Alabama and they don't fries at McDonald's. You're like, well, why didn't you do something? See, people like that, you expect them to do no, but if the other person was like, you know, on the short bus, didn't have much, and people didn't expect much, you have opportunities and options. Oftentimes with human beings, confirmation bias, which how many times you said things are toxic. You said your mother and father, were they in a healthy relationship?
Yeah.
So then you had a healthy model. Why do you assume that yours should just be toxic? Or toxic is okay?
I don't think it's okay.
But then what I would say at this point, then that's a good thing. Then go understand your part in the relationship and how people experience you. That's all we can do. That's all you can do is go understand who you are, what you are, how you think, process, and then how people experience you, and then decide if and what you want to do about any of that. That makes more sense to me. But don't just be content to have a dog.
Look, I didn't buy my dog. I was given a dog.
By who?
By a gentleman.
Yeah, that's a good way to keep the back.
No, I'm being
where's my friend?
honest.
That's a good way to keep the side coochie open. I made that video about why men give dogs. I made a video about why men give dogs. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Yeah, I got a dog. Why, man? Shit, if I want to slide by there and see how Fido doing. Girl, I want you to wear that favorite Angel cologne I'm wearing. Yeah, that's what's up. Mm-hmm. All right, Jay. How are you doing? You're next.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay. What do you got for me on the topic?
I actually completely agree with you. Modern women these days are not really meant to be housewives at all. We're not taught to be. It's actually frowned upon from what I've seen.
Well, frowned upon by whom?
By women.
There you go. Frowned upon by women. What would you like? What kind of interaction would you like with a man in your life?
I'm honestly open with either way, but I think if I were to have children, it would be best for me to be a housewife, just to actually raise my children rather than give them off to a babysitter.
Makes sense. But are you in that cohort of women who was not raised to be a housewife?
Correct.
Okay. So I would consider it to be a new wave housewife. What are you
Yes.
doing to prepare yourself to be that?
Um,
Especially if you decide you want children.
oh no, I do definitely want children. I'm just saying
Okay.
if,
So what are you doing to prepare yourself for that?
um, I don't know. I suppose, you just have to know yourself.
Well,
Because a lot of women these
I
days,
think you've done a good job by acknowledging the deficits.
right.
But do you make room for the possibility that you need to know what the kind of men you would want from a woman?
Oh, I really don't know. Unfortunately, my dating experience is quite limited.
Okay, so look at it as a product. Before you can put a product on the market, you can know the product intimately.
Right.
But you sit it out on the market, and the market gets to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the men that you would want are a market, right? The kind of lifestyle you want, the kind of income you would want him to have, the place you would want to live, all these, his religious black, all these things. Those men have a demographic of some sort, right? They fit into some sort of demographic. Between this age, this socioeconomic status, this race, da da da. Okay. What do men in that demographic who want to marry tend to want from a product, which is a wife?
Mm-hmm.
That's
to be
more
honest
than
with
knowing
you,
that's more than knowing your product.
uh-huh. To be honest, I'm actually interested in Indian men since I am Indian.
Okay.
And I have seen they're mostly interested in highly educated females who are, who do have a high status themselves.
Okay.
They're not really interested in housewives these days.
Well, now I've seen both.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen both. Do you plan on having a traditionally Indian household, or you plan on having a modern Indian household?
I suppose it depends on your definition of modern.
Well, most of the Indian men I knew when I was growing up, they leaned a lot more traditional because most of them were exchange students. So it was amazing that the guys came over here and remained really conservative. The women, on the other hand, came over here and lost their damn mind. They was dropping it like it was hot, turning up.
Correct.
Like, God damn.
Yep.
They took their little dot off. I'm like, shit. It's true, they did. They were whores. But they were good. They went through their whole phase. But then, hold up, time out. But then they recalibrated and they both washed their hands of that. And then the people who wanted to live more traditional, they did that thing. And the ones who want to live more modern, a lot of those women married non-Indian men because so many of the Indian men still wanted that traditional wife. So if you're interested in Indian men, you would have to deal with a modern Indian man, I would think.
Right. And the modern Indian man is completely different. They're more like, normal.
They're more Western.
Guys. Yeah.
So sounds to me like that there would be a hybrid household that maybe you would be able to stay at home for the key developmental years of the child's life, 1 through 5, but being there for the entire time probably wouldn't be necessary. All I would say is whatever this modern kind of guy we've kind of flushed out, so really start to study these group of men and understand what do these kind of men tend to want. Ask them. You see a guy, you see, I don't know, give me an Indian guy's name. Throw one out there.
Raj.
Raj. You see Raj. You say, hey, Raj, what are you looking for in a woman? No cat. What are you looking for? And I do know Raj. I know Raj and Ron. Ask him, what are you looking for? If you were going to marry, what would you look? And let them tell you. That's why I'm good. I'm good with matchmaking. That's why I'm good with matchmakers and dating agencies, because this swipe left, swipe right stuff is for the birds. Make a deal.
Right. I completely agree. I'm not even on any of that type of stuff. I think it's quite frankly a waste of time.
Well, I would consider going to a matchmaker, dating agency, a matchmaker, something like that. That may be a good idea. You can go and get back to work because she over there. Go and do what you gotta do. Peace out,
Thank
mama.
you.
Bye bye.
Have a good evening. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you. Come again. I did it. I did it. I did it. Oh my God, I'm going to hell. That was Apu on The Simpsons, for anybody didn't know. Thank you. Come again. No, hot dog. Bye bye. Shout out to what was that guy's name? What was that guy's name I work with? It was oh shit, I forgot his name. It wasn't. I knew it was her name. I forgot his name, but it started with an A. He gonna kill me. What was his name? Shit, it'll come to me. So, the net of it is, what you're starting to realize is it requires a lot of thought, in my opinion, from the women's side to know what kind and caliber of life you want to have, because you are a product and the men are the consumer. You have to understand what they are looking for. Dawn, we're coming to you next because Kimberly is moving her phone around like a mad woman. Go ahead, Dawn, unmute yourself. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 31.
31. All right. What do you got for me on the topic?
To answer your question, can modern women choose high value? My answer is yes.
Well, the question is, can you choose high value? And the overall arching question is, can modern women choose to be housewife worthy? But go ahead.
I think so. I think if that's a preference, then that's something that the woman could work towards.
Okay. How?
Through learning and teaching, like a lot of the other ladies said, being surrounded by other women that are housewives.
Is that something you want?
Yes, it is.
So where are you learning at currently?
Well, you, for one.
Well, you ain't paying me. See, YouTube is one thing, but where are you actually getting practical information on a consistent basis?
I just started listening to you today.
Okay. Well, but how long have you known you wanted to be a wife in this category?
I've known it for a little while, but I didn't know actually what it was called until I was referred to you yesterday.
A little while. Give me a time frame.
A few years.
All right. So at 31, that puts you smack in the danger zone.
Yes.
27 to 35. Well, you really got to focus like a laser on what you want. How many children would you like to have?
Honestly,
yeah,
a lot. 6.
What does that mean? How many?
6.
Okay. I'm assuming you're not working to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with 6 kids.
That's my hope, yes.
All right. And what state do you live in?
I live in...
Huh?
I live in Texas.
Texas. How much is a man going to need to make for 6 kids and 2 adults, so a family of 8? How much will he need to make to provide a middle class, upper middle class, lower upper class life?
I'm thinking 7 figures.
All right. And what percentage of men make $1 million or more?
That I don't know.
Give me a ballpark.
What percentage? 15%.
Okay. Are you trolling me?
What? I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you trolling me?
What do you mean, am I trolling you?
You just told me that 15% of men in this country make $1 million.
That's my guess.
Oh, okay. Did you go to college?
Yes.
Where'd you go to school?
I graduated from Texas Women's University.
All right. Texas Women's. Bachelor's, master's, PhD.
Bachelor's and master's.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
You got a dog?
After listening to you today, no, I'm not getting a dog.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
It ended in December.
How long was that? How long were you guys together? 2 years. And why did you guys go any further?
We didn't communicate very well.
Okay. Who ended it?
I did.
Was it long distance or was it local?
It was long distance.
Of course it was. And what was your longest relationship before that?
2 years.
Okay. Was that long distance as well?
No.
And when did that one end?
That one ended in 2017.
And who ended that one?
What was that?
Who ended that one?
That was a mutual ending.
It's never mutual. Who ended that one?
I ended it.
And what about the one before that?
The one before that was a year.
Mm-hmm. And how old were you when that one? How old were you when you started that one?
I was in undergrad, so about 27, 26.
27, 26? Did you go to college late?
No.
27, 26, that doesn't make sense. You had two 2-year relationships and a 1-year relationship. That's the timeline doesn't make sense.
So about from 25 to 26.
From 25 to 26. Then so have you had a relationship longer than 2 years?
No.
Okay, so if you're going for $1 million job, do you have relationship history for $1 million job?
No, I'm trying to obtain better habits so that way.
Well, first of all, if you're being honest, man, which I cannot believe that you're being honest.
Okay.
I mean, you're saying that, do you care what race your husband is?
Do I care what race? I'm open.
Okay. And you're from where originally?
New Jersey.
Okay. So you mean to tell me that in New Jersey, 15 out of 100 men make $1 million?
Probably not. I'm probably reaching.
At 31 years old?
Is the percentage closer to 5%?
It's closer to 0.1%.
Oh. And if I'm a contributor, does that change anything?
With 6 kids? I mean, no, not really. What are you contributing? He's making $1 million. What you making, 50? Are you being serious? I mean, because I'll use this either way. But if this is just a joke, I mean, I'll do it.
No, not a joke.
Well, it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy that I'm just talking to a 31-year-old black woman with a master's.
Yes.
From Texas woman who says, I want 6 kids at 31 years old. And I think it would take a man making $1 million. Did your last boyfriend make over 100,000?
No.
Have you ever dated a man that made over $100,000?
No.
Then why at 31 years old or older do you think you could get a man making $1 million?
I think I'm able to contribute to our relationship, so the household.
I asked you what made you think you could get a man making $1 million older.
I think my contribution to our relationship.
What is that? What would that be?
Financial contribution, as well as.
How much are you making annually?
About 70,000.
$70,000. Congratulations. He's making what, 12 times, 14 times that? What is 70,000 to $1 million? Are you being serious?
70,000 currently. I mean, my plan is not to stay.
Okay. What do you plan on doing between now and the first baby to get you to what, $1 million?
I would like to reach
what?
Reach to become a millionaire within the next few years.
Doing what?
I have a few business ventures that I'm tackling.
And your degree is in what?
Speech language pathology.
Okay. So you want to be an entrepreneur and $1 million business owner and a mother of 6 married to a millionaire. You also want to be a superhero and a spy as well?
I hear you.
This is modern women, people.
What would you say is more reasonable?
Therapy.
I've been there.
You need to go back.
Okay.
Because if you're being serious, you are really detached from reality. To think that any of that's plausible.
What's plausible at this point?
Therapy.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not being funny, ma'am. You're from New Jersey. You come from millionaire parents?
No.
You went to Texas Woman's College. How many millionaires does that prestigious bastion of learning produce?
I haven't done that research.
It doesn't. You don't date millionaires. This sounds like the fanciful notions of a junior high school girl. That's why I kept asking you, are you trolling me? Are you being serious? I was hoping you were going to tell me you were trolling me. I was hoping you weren't being serious.
No, just trying to learn.
No, there's no need to be learning at 31. I mean, be honest, ma'am, that one of the big problems in our community is Black women have been allowed to just walk through life and just not take it seriously. You're just going through life, la 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 la, and just talk. This sounds good. That sounds good. All right. Well, let me give you an example. If I were to go back 100 years ago, do you think you are as serious as women that were 31 years old back 100 years ago?
No.
Why not?
I mean, times have changed drastically.
But people haven't, ma'am. That's the problem. Teenagers are a modern invention, and at 31 years old, you live in your own place?
Yes.
Okay. To think $1 million is so available for income is problematic, number one. And to just think that whatever business you're talking about, you are going to be you have $1 million business idea that you're going to do in your part-time.
Yeah, like something growing online, offline. I do want to be realistic about it. I mean, that was my primary reason for coming on here. Newly out of the relationship and ready to date again.
Becoming a millionaire, man, what high income skills do you have?
I don't have any high income skills.
I'll make you famous.
God, I was hoping you were playing.
No, I'm not.
What were you in therapy for?
Just going through personal growth.
Okay.
My communication skills, my relationships.
I think you need to plug back into, I don't know what to even say at this point. Rarely am I stumped, but when I'm listening to a Black woman with a master's, say that she thinks that the average, thinks that 15% of men in this country earn $1 million and then you make 70,000, but you think you can do something where you become a millionaire and you're part time, then you got me.
I'm out of reach.
Well,
I see.
but yeah. So I think the most generous thing to do would be to end this. Wow. I expected some interesting comments, but you book in this last caller with the cornrow, half mohawk, whatever that thing was going on, Brooklyn. So I say the women who are my detractors who think you're like, you act like you leave women where there's no hope. If this is the soil that men must place their seed in, is it fertile for the crop they're trying to grow? Like I said, we have spent so much time critiquing men, critiquing everyone else. This is why I push back so heavily on this. Well, it's not all, and we got to share responsibility. I'm speechless. What is all this education and all this other stuff for? Like I said, vanity. Oh, I can become a millionaire. I can, just like I want to. Maybe we ought to start making, infinity wedding gauntlets. Now I'm a housewife. Jeez Louise, man. So, damn. I got nothing after that one. I got nothing after that one. Rare do you get me when that's just like, goddamn. But anywho, that was something. Next week, we're going to have, like I said, the smoke show. We're going to have the smoke show. We're going to have the, got a lot of good topics coming up because what we're getting into is, I really do believe that, like one lady said, if you weren't taught how to do it, that's not a death sentence. Just like a man may not have been taught how to be this, but it's not a death sentence. The self-awareness, it's like the Indian woman I was talking about. Ladies, unless you are the caliber of woman that these men want, stop asking for these high-end men that you aren't qualified for. And make a deal. You're going to have to make a deal. And stop trying to make a bad deal. What can you make a deal? You can make a deal based on your sexual marketplace value. Not your look, not your income, not your education. None of that matters if you are not hot enough for him. You want a so-called high-value man? Be prepared to share. Happily. If not, meow, 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 meow. mean, seriously. There's something missing today that a lot of women who call in here, I hope it's a mirror so you can hold it up and realize that there's something missing and you need to approach and you need to do something about it. It's not to insult, to clown you or whatever. It's really to see, all right, didn't know, didn't realize. Because my goal is to have better women's outcomes because the men want women. They want women that they can actually do something with, though. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't be surprised. I might jump live tomorrow on IG. I might do that. Don't know. If you follow me on IG, you know you're suspect to see me jump live on IG Live. I'm trying to decide next week. Next Friday is going to be the smoke show. I think I'll do the smoke show on Good Friday. Then the week after that, we're going to flew out to New York. Then the week after that, we're going to flew out to LA. Shout out to Jenny. Can't wait to see Jenny. Shout out to my next ex-wife, Audra. Woo, Audra in that orange dress. Lord have mercy. Jesus. I'm just kidding. I don't want Kane coming to shoot at me. Now, hopefully when I go to LA, I'm going to do a lot of collaborations with people because I want to tap into that whole scene that's going on out there to try to give you guys a better caliber of content. You know, I am by no means trying to say this is going to all be about me. Like I said, we're going to take this channel and create a platform that's going to be beneficial to other people. This Sunday, you're going to see a new prize. Hopefully, in another couple of weeks, you're going to see a prize and the catch. I've had people ask, is it just U.S.? I think I'm going to actually extend it to the UK, Canada, Australia, in that area, because there's so many people that are calling in from that area. I'm starting to have more people call in from Europe, Australia, Canada, but I want to make it to where things geographically kind of link up. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Is that velvet? Yeah. Is that velvet? What is that, velvet? Yeah, you like that, huh? Good stuff. LA is reopening nicely. Good stuff, though. Good show. Good people. Good content. Shout out to the confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. One love to the feminine, beautiful, and inspirational ladies out there. We're going to keep it moving, keep it grooving. See if we can get this thing going. But until the next time, you know how we do it. Peace. We are gone. Gotta get these lights to start synchronizing. I'm a PhD.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted.
Shout out to 600,000 subscribers. Yeah. Big up to the people who've been there since the Vegas review days.
I follow. No,
they're like, I remember Emily was making a fragrance review. Still doing it.
Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
Good night to the FBI, you feminine, beautiful.
Edge of it all.
Ladies.
So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible.
I like it's a Mac Daddy.
Before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
Music is offbeat in the video, so sometimes it looks like I'm offbeat. I'm gonna be over here. There's a delay of synchronization in the software, so
yeah, nothing can stop me.
the replay. I look like I'm off mute.
You and I realize we